So it's Monday. I think it's the 27th. I'm doing good, feeling fine. I went and did a small repair this morning. So I follow the last real story I followed was the Paradise, California fires. Most people never even heard of them. That's when pretty much the whole town of Paradise, California, they burned it down and blamed it on forest fires. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because I'm seeing the same thing going on with this chemical spill, this train rollover, the chemical spill out in Ohio. And I just want to make a note because, man, I followed that Paradise fire. That was amazing, man. There were a couple people out there, like, documenting this on the ground. And I see so many parallels between the Paradise fires and East Palestine. It's very, very... I'm just saying, there's definitely something. These are like they're rituals, the rituals. They're planned. It's all on purpose, and then they just use the way we live and the way we are in society to basically just hurt everybody in this mass mind control. When there's something horrible going on. They did the same thing for Sandy Hook, that whole fake bullshit thing. That whole town's a whole setup. They did the same thing for 9/11. That whole thing was just horse shit. And on and on. All these mass shooting events. And I'm not saying that this stuff like these people aren't really dying. What I'm saying is this is on purpose and perpetrated by your authorities, the people you recognize as your authorities and your experts. They're the ones who perpetrate this on you. And so I guess this is why it's important for me, is because, this all goes back to not recognizing any authority over you and realizing that you have the power. And putting that humanity always and trusting your instinct always. Because what I watched with the Paradise fires is the media, of course, is covering it, but they were skewed. They were just blaming it on. It was unreal. It was completely unreal, and I can't even go into detail on it. I'm not trying to on this video. It was just completely unreal. And anyway, so the whole town of Paradise basically got wiped out, and it got swept under the rug. Like, I sat there and watched the whole town get wiped out, and the media acting like gatekeepers to the whole situation, like the mainstream media, acting like gatekeepers to the whole situation and acting like, and just putting out this completely false, wrong information. And then these couple people who were on the ground reporting and doing actual journalism and actually interviewing. It was the craziest shit ever, man. I couldn't believe it. This was like a few years ago. But I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that they got away with it. Like, it was just so amazing that this happens. I mean, at any given moment, they're going to come in and take your town. They're going to take your town. They're going to ruin your whole, they're going to ruin everything. And you won't be able to do shit about it. And you're going to sit there with your head up your ass and just look stumped. And you're going to blame it on whatever president. You're going to blame it on whatever. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you. And what I'm seeing is the same thing is happening in this East Palestine. There's a lot of goddamn witchcraft going on over there with this one too, because there just is. I can feel it. But anyway, so these trains blew up, or these trains went off the track, got derailed, and they were carrying hazardous chemicals. Vinyl chloride, I believe, is what the name of supposedly all of the information, like the tech information, all this stuff is coming straight from the horses. It's coming from the assholes that are doing all the abuse. So they're doing their best to cover it up, but the problem is that there's again a couple independent journalists down there, and this time there's several independent journalists down there at the moment, and I get a feeling that there's a couple of these independent journalists are plants, because you can just tell how like they're trying to skew things. It's really fucked up, dude. I'm telling you, we got to be human for each other, guys. We got to be there for each other, because could you imagine? I can't imagine if I lived in Paradise or East Palestine. I mean, that would be unreal. I mean, to just get your whole town just taken over, and then like what's going on, and you're trying to tell the outside world, but nobody's listening. And again, it's just the abuse and the gaslighting, and people being on their programs, and people trusting in these institutions and in these authorities, and believing, instead of believing actual humans who are sitting there going, look, man, shit's fucked up, my shit's bad. And they're going, you're just making, it's not as bad. Look, man, just take the help. They're trying to help you out, man. Look, I'm busy. I got other things to do. I mean, I'm barely making it as I can. I got other things to do. You got to, they're helping you out. You got help there. Do you see what I'm saying? So like this stuff is all mirroring. It just mirrors, this kind of abuse mirrors itself throughout all the systems and all the things that are constantly taking place in this realm. These abusive systems mirror themselves in so many ways. I mean, the cover up that they did, in case you guys don't know, the railroads are owned by like 2 companies in the whole world. I mean, it's just crazy as shit, guys. You're completely controlled. Everything is controlled. And until you understand that, quit playing into all these systems that they have set up for you to play in games they have set up for you that are all distraction. It's not good. I mean, these poor people, dude. So they, this tanker spilled with all this chemical, right? So they went in, and I guess the cleanup, they realized immediately that the cleanup, and see, you don't understand. The railroad is like, it runs like a goddamn mafia. It's like, so this railroad system is so satanic, man. It's nasty, because the money that comes out of that system, they use like a couple guys to run like hundreds and hundreds of these cars. I mean, it's just disgusting, man. Again, it all comes back to greed and filth and nastiness, man. And big corporations, and then the useful idiots who continue to work for these fucking nasty companies. All the useful idiots. So yeah, what they ended up doing was they did a media circuit. So the media got on it immediately, because I mean, goddamn, the fucking thing was on fire. So they did a controlled burn, and they burned. Guys, there's so much. So everything, what I'm trying to say, like I can't even go in. There's so much to it. It's unbelievable. But everything being put out in mainstream media is like, if you can even find anything in mainstream media, I'm talking like, that's what I'm saying. Like there's so many this is where I'm like really seeing all the gatekeepers like come to the surface, because they're like skewing the information just ever so slightly. And it's disgusting, man. And then they had Trump. And this is what I'm saying. Like, people are like, oh, well, see, Trump came in there. He just came in there like 2 weeks afterwards, right? This is all set up, guys. This is unbelievable. They had a movie come out. I can't remember the name of the movie, but they had a movie. My cat's going crazy. They had a movie come out on this exact same scenario that they filmed in the exact same area as this train wreck in Ohio. And they used the people as in this town in East Palestine. They don't even call this, everywhere I'm hearing, they're calling this town East Palestine. They call it Palestine. It's Palestine. When has anybody ever called that spelling Palestine? It's always been called Palestine. The Palestine over there, in Israel, where the Israelites are killing all the Palestinians, you call it Palestine. They don't call it anyways, whatever. That's just the way I always pronounce it. I haven't heard one person pronounce it Palestine. They're all pronouncing it Palestine. Very strange. But anyway, so you got the Ohio River. They got all these creeks and shit there that flow into the Ohio, and all these main waterways that flow into Ohio touches like everything on the East fucking coast. So, but they're covering it up. So the mainstream has been like, they covered it real quick. And then they said, oh, we're doing a control burn. Well, the control burn guys, it's almost 3 weeks later. That's why I'm even mentioning this, because they're just trying to act like none of this is happening. And people are losing their lives. This is right here. This is right up the road from me. Like, I would guess that they're about 7 hours away. And in fact, we had fallout. Supposedly, we're getting fallout. Everybody south of them has been getting fallout over the past couple weeks from this, because of this chemicals that they burnt into the atmosphere. I mean, just free burn, just boom, just free burn these poisonous chemicals. And they called it a controlled burn. And this is the thing, guys, is that one of the definitions, I believe, of a control burn is there's not supposed to be that black plume. And that's, man, you go ahead and watch the video of the control burn. These cocksuckers lit a match and went boom, and was hoping that it would solve all their problems. Because what they did, guys, so they've been carting these toxic groundwater and wastewater and ground contaminants. They've been filling up tractor trailers and carting it all over the fucking country. And they were doing it secretly. And then when these towns this all just happened. This is what I'm saying. If you guys haven't heard about this, this is the kind of shit that, I just find so hilarious. Like, you watch mainstream, if you're not paying attention to what's going on, you would have no idea. They're trying to cover this up. They don't want anybody to know about this. They literally blew this up. This is all a ritual, guys. This is disgusting, man. They even had a movie come out about this exact same scenario in the same place. This movie just came out like within months ago, with the people in the town acting in the movie as extras. It's just wild, dude. You can't make this stuff up. It's fucking real. So then they have this fucking asshole Trump come in, and so they showed the control burn, right? It was, anybody who knows what a control burn was would go, that's not a fucking control burn. They just lit the chemicals on fire. There was no fucking control about it, other than it's so unbelievable. Like, if I hadn't been following this, I've been following this almost every day. I've been watching I'm paying attention to a few different guys, a few different channels that are, and I'm telling you, there's two guys that I'm seeing that seem like they're on the up and up, but the other two are just, it seemed like they're gatekeeping. They're just fucking, oh my God damn. So you literally only have a couple people over there on behalf of these cocksucker East Palestinian from Ohio. And guys, the thing is, this didn't just affect these people. It's affecting these chemicals are no joke. It's affecting the radius that this affects is with states. Like I said, I'm about 7 hours away south, and they were told there's so many. Who knows? Because if you go back and you watch that fire and you go, oh, wow, that's what they were doing. Burning those, because it releases dioxins. Guys, oh my God. You think this virus is bad? These motherfuckers, dude, are just coming in and just killing people left and right, bud. So then they were carting these chemicals all over the place, secretly, right? This is all being done by... Okay, so who's involved at the moment is the railroad company shaking hands with local government officials in Palestine. I'm not even calling it Palestine. That's the dumbest fucking thing. That's causing cognitive dissonance. The reason I'm talking about this whole situation is because of the cognitive dissonance it causes. I'm going to have to start another video.